All right, folks, we are back on Wade's World. It's scary hours as your boy is in Dubai. That's right, I'm in Dubai to host a boxing press conference for my main job, what I do on my main channel over at the Wade Concept. Go subscribe over there as well. But today we are back like we never left. Much like Akaash Singh's wife, when his money started rolling back in, she went on the Flagrant podcast. This is what we were all waiting for, to hear the PR spin zone that was going to come out of both of their mouths to make up for the absolute shellacking, not only that she's taken by white dudes and frats, but that they've taken over the internet in the last, I would say, week and a half to 2 weeks. It's been insane. It's been a crazy ride. It is, and it's come to this. The Flagrant guys and Akash's wife sitting down to try to joke their way out of this situation, which I don't think is gonna work really well. I mean, when you get to this point where she has said so much and said it so matter-of-factly, there's really no way that you can flip this around. There's really no way to misinterpret what she has said unless she's just a pathological liar. So it's one of two things. Did Akaash Singh's wife lie on social media to gain clout and followers and money off stories that didn't really happen? Or is she gonna spend more than a cycle instructor at 5 a.m. on a Monday morning after Thanksgiving and people need to lose weight? Let's take a look, the breakdown. Let's go. All right, so there's a bunch of clips. I'm not gonna watch the entire podcast because I just don't have the means and capability right now. If I miss something, you guys let me know. But the major points I wanted to hear from her about were, let's start with this one. The idea that she wasn't actually getting banged out by white boys in fraternities where she went to school. Let's take a listen to this.
Allegedly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, is it true that you said that there was a rotation of guys?
A roster.
Roster.
Yeah, what does a roster
What does that
mean?
What does this mean?
First off, I love, look at Akash's face. He's like, we trained for this, okay? We trained for this. We studied. We did every single thing we could to get prepared for this moment while I sit on the cuck couch, explain to them just how we practiced it, that you didn't get banged out by dudes in frat houses.
You guys have to understand, have you ever heard of the repressed Catholic schoolgirl?
Never.
Yes.
I was, you know. Okay. So I was,
His Catholic school was in his living room. Imagine how repressed he was.
I was a repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my God, I can dress however I want. I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But,
What does a roster mean?
so it didn't actually
Look at Akash is like, listen to Akash be like, no, stick to the story. Don't just tell them what we practice. Look at this.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But,
What does a roster mean?
so it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like two guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
And when you say hooking up, I think people
When
think you
I
meant
mean hooking
fucking.
up,
Yo, this is like watching a stage mom coach their kid on like the quiz answers that they're gonna be asked after their performance. This is legitimately insane. Akash is like, no, we'll address the fact that you said it was, hooking up now, okay? All right, we got roster, hooking up. Now address the fact that you said you were popping your pussy. You really meant that you were, you had a new kitten and you were trying to discipline it. Tell him, babe. What is this guy talking about? Oh, no, dude. And again, that answer from her, I don't know how you believe that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, she's a liar, but she's lying either with the first thing she said or the now PR statement after the fact. It's up to you guys to decide which one sounds more like, based on her personality, based on the way that she speaks, not just when Akash is not there, but when he's also there, like right in front of him, as she like talks about wanting to have orgies with her friend's husband and how she knows her husband's dick is massive. You tell me which one of these sounds more like her and which one sounds more like PR or lying to make the blow, no pun intended, seem less than it actually is.
I think people
when
think you
I
meant
mean
fucking.
hooking up, I just meant making out. Again, like every
Get the fuck out of here. You were on camera saying, I miss my college days when I was popping my pussy in white boy frat houses. I don't even think I'm that far off from like a verbatim word for word. That's what she said. Josh, find that clip and roll that shit.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses. And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
How can we in any way, shape, or fashion think you meant making out? I'm sorry. I've never heard people say I'm going to go pop my pussy on my boyfriend and talk about making out with him. Like, yo, you wanna pop pussy after school? No, actually, I just meant we're gonna make out. No, you didn't. Oh no, dude. And he's like, again, he's on the sideline coaching her like, yeah, they think you meant fucking when you said that you were popping that pussy for white boys and frats. That's what they thought. Clearly, you meant making out with two different guys. Clearly.
Everything I say is so amplified and hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I actually am as a person.
Right. So you're saying you're a big old prude.
Yeah.
Everything I say is so hyperbolic because it's incongruence to who I am as a person. So let me get this straight. Everything that you say is fake as fuck is what you're saying. Everything that you say is a lie because it's hyperbolic and not congruent with who you are as a person. So why should we believe any of it? Why should we believe this apology? Or not even apology. Why should we believe this restatement of what happened? This is insane. Guys, trust me, I'm a liar. Okay, I guess.
Literally, one of our fans asked us, would you guys have an orgy? So I just said, oh, I'm actively trying, like as a joke. Now, looking back, like it's been pointed out to me and I get that. I feel like for us, I think I learned so much of my humor from Akash, not to like justify it, but just to explain like, oh, if I say these absurd things, it's so funny because it's not who I actually am.
Right.
But I kind of forgot that like the internet doesn't know all these multi-dimensions of my personality. So they're just seeing this one thing.
Right.
So the orgy joke started with like Akash being like, oh, Nav's really hot. Like Akash would show Nav's picture to his trainer or whatever. Cause he's like really like.
Gosh, this having to relive this shit again, dude. I'm sorry. Listen, I've gone past the point of feeling bad for this guy because like, I mean, dude, Akash made a living off making fun of like the typical alpha male guys, and I'm pretty sure he even went at Will Smith when Will Smith years ago slapped the shit out of Chris Rock for making the joke about Jada. He was going off on Myron from the Fresh and Fit guys, talking about, oh, that's not how you treat a lady, that's not how you do this. Akash had all the best intentions, it feels like, for this girl. And again, we only know what's out there in the public, but they're the ones that told us what's out there in the public. She is the one that has constantly said stuff like, yo, your husband got a fat dick. Straight up, I bet it's 10 inches. How do you justify that one? What do you... And then in front of Akash, yeah, let's have an orgy. After you've complimented his dick. And Akash don't look like he's having fun here. Reliving this shit. I mean, it's, again, it seems coached. I'm just saying. It seems like they had some time to put their story together. And it's not even one that he likes. It's like the lesser of two evils type of thing.
Yeah, ripped or whatever.
I will say also, if she had a body count, I would have been like, hey, cut the. But because she doesn't, and I know how like innocent she actually is.
Oh, you are a virgin? That's real?
I was a virgin until I met him, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this is horse shit. I'm sorry. I think it's horse shit. I do. Akash is still, how do you, again, I just don't know how you sit there and run along with that story after the amount of things that you've said about the stuff you did before you met Akash. She may be a virgin, but her version of stories before this one after another, not only made it seem like, but using her own words, she was popping her pussies in white boy frats in college. Those are her words. No virgin is popping their pussy. Literally, it's impossible to do if you are a virgin. If you are a devout virgin, you are doing the opposite of popping your pussy. All right, I know I keep saying it, but I'm just using her words. That's not what you do. You protect the pussy. If she had said, I miss my days in college in these white boy frats where I was protecting my pussy, then I would have been like, okay, it makes sense, but that's not what you said. And I don't know how, in what world, that what she said means just making out with guys. And then she also say the story about how she got like, her butthole was sore after meeting some dude on Tinder one night.
I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my ass was a little sore.
What's that about? How do you... Is this like one of those situations where, you know, you go through the back door so that you can still maintain the idea of being a virgin? Because I'm gonna let you know something. You ain't a virgin if that's the case. You might be in specific holes, but I'm just gonna be honest, that ain't how it works. If you are partaking, you're partaking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't, that body count thing, I'd have been like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Because I would have been insecure about it. But I can be, not that I'm so secure, but with that joke, I'm like so secure.
Oh, I absolutely.
Oh yeah, I don't know, buddy. You don't strike me as a guy that's really secure with her joking about it. And again, he keeps saying, "Oh, I know she is. I know she is." You better fucking hope so, dude, because now you've doubled down on it. Now, if there's any shred of evidence that comes out to confirm what she originally said, then this is going to look even worse. And Akash, just again, I'm not saying you shouldn't believe your wife for sure, but they've made a mountain out of what should have been a molehill. And now, because of their own words back and forth, this thing is, I'm telling you, it's holding on by a thread. If there's a single thing that comes out after this that confirms that she wasn't, buddy, it's not going to go well. Because you even say, oh, I'm secure about it. I'd be insecure if she didn't. I'd be insecure if she was popping that pussy out in college, like she said she was. Okay.
You would feel insecure.
And I think stupidly, I was like, oh, it's an orgy, so it's all of us. It's not like talking.
Yeah, that is stupid.
Yeah.
Bro, look at him. Everybody else is having a good time. Even the security dog, the security is laughing at him. Everybody's laughing about this ipso facto. And you can tell he didn't like that she went back to the orgy joke. It's like, babe, we don't have to keep addressing the orgy thing. Like, you keep bringing it up, and you know, I'm not insecure about it, but he keeps talking about it. Everybody's laughing, and he's like, "Fuck off, dude."
I think you're being inclusive. You're being inclusive.
I thought it was being
It's not a.
So there's that as just a lead off to this insane retelling of things that we're getting from Jasleen. Oh, the other thing that they talked about was the idea that Jasleen, not even the idea, the factual evidence. Again, I don't want to make this about ideas. These are the things that was said from either Akash or Jasleen that happened during their relationship. A quick retelling. There was a story about Akash that he told on stage, I guess at a comedy club, that he stays with his girl because he knows she's been down for him since day one. She was there when he was at his lowest of lows, and now she's there at his highest of highs, when it turns out that wasn't the case, and that she had actually broken up with Akash after he had lost his job, after they had to move out of New York, after he had gotten on some really hard times, and she had gone on this trip to India, and they only really got back together months later after Akash apparently made this, you know, one fell swoop trip to go see her and her grandma and all these other things. And then he started making money again on the Flagrant show. And after he started making his money again, she came back through with the support and the relationship, and all of a sudden things went crazy because of Flagrant and how successful it's been. So that is the given timeline. Again, that's not the way Akash said it, but that is the way she explained it in so many words. So let's take a look at how this one gets spun.
Gold digger?
Yeah. Because I invested low and waited for it to go high.
You're a gold prospect.
Yeah, that's not a gold digger.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're like a, what is that? You're like a hedge fund manager.
Yeah, you're like Akash with Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like,
She bought much lower than I did. she bought at the bottom, dude. She could not have bought
That is
lower.
something that
but
is.
to be fair, it's like I was working too in the
I wasn't.
beginning.
One
and
of us
you
was
weren't.
working.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
When we met, I worked at Goldman Sachs. I got a job at Deloitte after I graduated college.
Yeah.
I was a
I was
consultant.
sleeping in till
I
12
worked
a.m.
in
12 p.m.
data analytics.
Right? Yeah.
You're a gold digger.
Yeah.
So she was working when she had to, is what I'm hearing. Before she moved in with Akash, I'm just assuming here, but this sounds like she was working because she had to, because she wasn't with Akash. When they met, was she still working those jobs after she was with Akash and he started making money? I don't think that's the case. But, which is why it was interesting to hear her talk about people that didn't have money, the people that make $60,000 a year and how they're broke, they don't have any gold to dig. It seems like this is a bit of a reversal from that attitude when she was actively saying, yeah, you know, I'm out here providing my man with emotional support. I shouldn't have to work, all of this. All of a sudden, now you were the breadwinner? Seems like a little bit of embellishing and retelling of this story. Again, not saying she didn't work. Apparently when they were together, she was working till 2 a.m., whatever. All of a sudden, she stopped working. But that doesn't seem like the same story we were getting 2 weeks ago, last week. All of a sudden, it was, I was the breadwinner. Akash clearly wasn't making any money. And then things turned around and she stayed the whole time. It's not how it was told last week.
You sleeping on the ground.
Yeah, I know. This whole thing backfired.
I was saying red.
I used to really believe that you guys were poor with his sob stories so we could get Patreon going. I didn't know you were working at a fucking hedge fund this whole time he was spending your money.
Well, I wasn't making that much. I was making like 70 grand a year in New York City on 2 people.
But that's good though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Okay, so then when did you guys get really broke? And why did you stay with him?
2018. Okay, do you want the real answer or the fun answer?
I want to know the real answer. And like, I want to know that because I heard this beautiful story that Akash told about you guys sleeping on the floor and then like him wanting to give you his North Face or something. And then you gave it back because you're like, it's not Mew Mew. I'm not sleeping in North Face. You save your money and give me Mew Mew. Sure. Okay. No, but for real, you got a stink dick husband sleeping on the floor. Like, what's wrong with you, man? Like, you're supposed to be a gold digging whore according to the internet.
That's what I'm saying. There was like so many red flags early on.
By the way, not according to the internet. This is according to her. Schultz, there's no narrative that the internet spun. These were her words out of her mouth, talking about what she loves most about Akash is his money and his ability to provide her with things. How she hates his birthday because it has to be about him. She was popping her pussy in college before they met, after convincing him that she was a virgin. How when he proposed for the 2nd time, all she wanted to do was talk about how big the ring is, swerved his kiss, and went back to how much did you pay for this? These aren't our words. These aren't our narratives to be spun. This is what she was doing and saying.
Why'd you stay? That's
I stayed because I felt like as soon as I met you, it was love at first sight. I loved you. Like, I don't know. I just felt like, and maybe like you feel like that when you guys met your wives or your fiance. It's like, you just like know when you have that special connection. It's like, okay, like God picked this person out for me. And like everything he did from top to bottom, like his character, his integrity, his personality, like I just like loved everything about it. So I was like, okay, like I don't want to just leave because we're going through a hard time, because I really believed in like his potential, like just like you did.
For sure.
You know, because you were more successful than Akash, like in the very beginning and stuff, and now you guys, yeah, whatever.
I also believe that he was incredibly brilliant and talented, but also just an amazing.
Oh my, this is rough. I mean, it's a nice. That was a nice thing for her to say, no doubt about it. But the way he's like, I don't want to be the guy that like blows the whole lid on this thing. They may have true love, and it may have been love at first sight, but the way she talks to him, and again, not in this setting, but in every other setting. And the way he like coaches her into answering, yeah, but so what made you stay? He's like interrogating her, being like, all right, let's get back on track for what we practiced to talk about. I don't know. Working at the hedge fund for 70 grand, which is hilarious because she was the one talking about how 70 grand was essentially nothing, or 60 grand. Like, oh, you don't have any gold to dig. All of a sudden, 70 grand is good. It's a good number. It's good to make money. All of a sudden, 70 grand was enough for 2 people. So I don't understand. If people making 60 grand was broke, and those people don't have any right to talk about money and anything else. When you were making 60, 70 grand, you were the breadwinner, you were the one paying for everything, you were the macho money-making cash ATM. Sounds a little bit hypocritical. Sounds like you may have forgotten the value of money and only have been reminded of it since you're doing this backtrack, since you're hitting the fucking moonwalk on all these statements you made about you and your husband to look like you guys are in a better place than maybe you are or maybe you aren't. I don't know. It just seems a little fishy that all of a sudden we're telling these sob stories after it's been degrade central. And again, I don't feel bad for Akash anymore because this is the life he wants. This is what he chose. So beggars can't be choosers. Oh, here we go. Here is the story that she confirms or denies. We'll see. The backdoor shenanigans of the Tinder date that she was on. And I really just don't know how you even walk this one back. This is all being attributed to her being a quote unquote whore or whatever you want to say. Just her, it's more to me just about her lies or potential lies about how promiscuous she was before she married Akash and how it's been spun now and how she told him she was a virgin and how he relied on that until now because he's been taken advantage of. Fellas, I'm not saying go out and have sex before marriage if that's not your life plan, but just don't be surprised if the person you're with has done it before you. And please, please don't let yourself get trapped by the first person that you give your virginity to, unless that's the person you know for sure you're fully in love with. Because Akash had no experience beforehand, and I don't care what this girl says, she absolutely did. Let's listen to this.
Before we wrap this up, was there anything that you saw? Was there anything that, like, obviously all the things I imagine made you feel bad. Was there anything that specifically bothered you or, yeah?
I mean, I think people talking about the sore butthole story, because that was more kind of like an assault story, but I didn't want to label it as such because I didn't think it was super traumatizing and I had already shared one.
Right.
And I feel like the internet has a quota for girls of like how many assault stories they could share, regardless of if it's true or not.
No. We're not sitting here after the fact talking about this is my assault story. And again, so now it's an assault. Now she was sexually assaulted, but laughing about it and bragging about it on a podcast. Again, maybe everyone deals with trauma different. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I understand, the dynamics of this entire situation, but I am going off of her words. She was the one saying, like, I don't even know if I can go back and remember what she said. All right, so here's the butthole story, just for proper context, so I don't misquote her. This is what she said, which is now being attributed as an assault. Okay, maybe is the case.
Okay, I have 2 butthole stories. So one time.
Hold on a second. I just heard her say I have 2 butthole stories. Okay, one of them is an assault, apparently, allegedly, but let's hear. But apparently there's 2, so not an isolated incident.
Time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And
did she mean not wanting to make out? So she let the guy sleep over even though she didn't want to make out, because hooking up to her was making out, correct? Okay, but he slept over. So she didn't kiss him, because that's what hooking up is to her. But he slept in her bed?
And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my God.
So apparently this guy assaulted her when she was in her sleep. Now again, if this girl was sexually assaulted, no one should celebrate. That's awful. It should be reported to the authorities. Whoever did that should be charged. But that doesn't seem like the way she portrayed it in the first clip. And it seems like it was one of 2 butthole stories that she had. Now again, I don't even mean to be like going investigator Wade on this, but if this was an assault, I hope that it was properly dealt with the authorities and she went and took care of it, because that is truly awful, right? We shouldn't condone that in any respect. But why wasn't the story told like that from the beginning? She was telling like I have these experiences, promiscuous experiences, and I have 2 butthole stories, and I'm going to tell one of them on a podcast that's funny? And now it's her way of dealing with trauma. Okay, all right, but again, the messaging is not the same. At first it was one thing, and now it's I was assaulted, which again, don't want to see ever. No one should be assaulting women, sexually or otherwise, but we're only using your words. We listened to what you said and believed it, and now you're telling us not to believe what you have previously said, and that now you're going to tell the truth. So again, either you're embellishing, lying about your personal life for money and views and clout, for wannabe comedian status like your husband, or you were telling the truth, it didn't look so good for your relationship with your husband, for how promiscuous you potentially were before you met your husband, and now you're backtracking. Up to you guys to decide which one of those is right.
Not like obviously I
you think the
didn't.
interview would be like, oh, every story she tells
Yeah,
she's
that's
getting
why
assaulted.
I didn't want to do. That's why I was like, oh, this happened. I didn't really say it's okay.
So what happened, if you don't mind saying?
Well, I mean, so I was living in San Francisco, working on
Definitely
my
a
internship.
butt thing would happen there. Not shocking at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like when Tinder first came out. There was no Bumble, there was no Hinge. I met this guy on Tinder. Whatever. Like we were like just feeling like the vibes, and I
Hooking up? Were you guys hooking up?
really was like, oh, you can sleep over, but like not really wanting to hook up that much. Cause again, for me, like I was just like, okay, maybe we can make out and just like whatever and cuddle. But then I guess he like wanted.
Was this guy Indian?
No, he was like way
yeah, he took it very differently than, yeah. I've learned this translation.
Wait, what do you mean?
An Indian guy might understand what an Indian girl means when she says we're hooking up. It doesn't mean we're fucking.
There's something conservative.
What? Oh my God. Yes, the coded Indian language of hooking up. I'm sure if she went to India right now and was like, hey, who wants to hook up? They'd all go, wait, it's my turn to just kiss. Akash, what are you doing, bro? The only thing that I just keep coming back to is him doing the interjections to provide context for what she's saying, like she can't explain herself. Like if she can go out and have this fucking full-on podcast where she tells these stories, but then when it comes to telling the actual truth, now she can't speak. Now she has no idea how to articulate. So he's got to run in with the fucking fact checkers over and over, just sliding them in like, oh, this guy wasn't Indian. Nah. And by the way, he's acting like he's heard this story for the first time now. He's like, wait, was the guy Indian? Like they didn't talk about this before they came on the pod. All right, buddy.
I think most American people
I was thrown off by her inviting him over. Because when I've been invited over, that usually means, oh, we're fucking.
No, I know. That was, again, stupid decision on my part. I was like 21. So it's like, I really just like, I don't know, like I just was making bad decisions all around. So it's like, but I was like, okay, like we'll kiss, whatever. I don't remember, honestly, I don't even remember too much, but I just remember him like trying to like sneak a finger. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. Yeah. But like then the next day, like it was like kind of feeling sore, but it wouldn't, like if it had been anything else, it would, that would have been a whole other story. It would have been like, it would have teared something,
Yeah.
So it was just like that.
So this was a creep pervert that was trying you. And the internet ran off with this crazy narrative of something completely different.
Yeah.
Crazy narrative of something completely different. Buddy, I don't care what kind of professor frame glasses you're wearing. You're clearly not a smart guy because the internet didn't create this narrative to run off with. This girl said on her own podcast that she had multiple butthole stories. And one of them was she fell asleep and woke up with her butthole sore. We didn't know the context of, did she get drunk and have sex? Did she not remember doing something? Like she just said, like, oh, I'm not really sure what happened. Or is something else going on? In no words did she say, oh yeah, some dude sexually assaulted me. We all would go, oh yeah, that's fucked up. Because that's what normal people do when they respond, when they hear someone has been sexually assaulted. She didn't let anybody know that until right now. So we didn't run with a narrative, we ran with her words. The gaslighting on this show is crazy. And it does just feel like it's a couch group therapy session for Akash for everybody to like soften the blow. Again, no pun intended. So that Akash feels better about himself and his marriage. Which again, you kind of expected because they were gonna come up here and make jokes like Flagrant's podcast does. They're all comedians. We get that. They were gonna make jokes about it. But I just don't think you can joke this one away, man. I don't. And I'm not seeing some of these stories lining up the way that she's explaining. Some of them do, and there's validity for what she's saying about being assaulted. It's just why wasn't that what you said to begin with? Why is it now when your hubby's there and you're not doing your little girl talk with your friends and his friends are there and everybody's sitting here questioning, all of a sudden it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
Yo, security, you got to find those guys.
Yeah, we got to get them. We got to get them.
I would love that. Can I beat this guy up?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No, you can.
You can take
outsource
That's
it.
what's up.
Yeah, Akash, not insecure at all, by the way. And this might be the most damning evidence of at least some association with guilt on the part of Akaash Singh's wife, Jasleen, as she is now going to explain why, because of everything that he's gone through in this last week, it's okay for him to cheat on her to get back at her for all the narratives going around on Twitter and on the internet, when again, the narratives are just her words being used by everybody looking at this situation and realizing this is not a healthy relationship. Your wife is either lying or embellishing her past, or she's making jokes about things you're clearly uncomfortable about and does it in your face just to make you more uncomfortable. Something's not necessarily working here, but you can go ahead and cheat on me because I guess that'll make everything better.
And I was like, no, the fuck. She's all talk. She's all bluster. That's why I haven't tested the hand job thing.
Paper tiger.
She's our dog. She's a yapping little dog behind a fence. Nothing's gonna happen. There's no bite. All bark, no bite.
So you would say that, but in reality, if he actually did go get it.
Okay, like let me think about it. If you actually did go get it, yes, like I think it would bother me like 30%, but I feel like 70% I'd be like, okay, whatever. I put you through a lot the past couple weeks. So.
Like he deserves it.
Yeah, I feel like I owe it to you.
I do kind of deserve it.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're going to be supporting
But she
that.
just
We
can't
are
be
so close
prettier
to
than
Chinatown.
He's going to do it.
Who could be prettier than you?
Oh my God, you hear that little exchange? So I guess this is some running joke where Akash acts like he's gonna go get a hand job, which no offense to Akash, and I know he's not very experienced, but like if we're open the doors to like hall pass lists, then why are we opening the door for a hand job? Cheating's cheating, right? If you're gonna cheat, you might as well go through the whole freaking thing. A little hand job is not gonna get you, it's gonna feel great, though. It's awkward as shit. If cheating is cheating, so I'm not sure why the hand job is the thing of choice. Maybe that's what he's used to instead of I don't know. But one thing I will say is there's jokes, there's laughing. It seems like they're having a good time about it, but it seems like it's like been brought up before, and even there, she's like, okay, well, she can't be prettier than me. And he's like, no, who could be prettier than you, babe? Nobody. Like trying to actually comfort her. But at the same time, if she's willing to let him do anything at all in the form of cheating, that to me is red flag central. That to me says there is a little bit of guilt there. There is something that she needs to, you know, literally and metaphorically get off her chest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that means she probably done something before. Again, I don't know their relationship. I don't know. Maybe this is just the way they joke. And I know people seem like they genuinely hate each other and are in a relationship together and nobody understands why. Like, why, if you hate that person as much as you act like and take these sly little digs about and kind of demean them and you know, go after their personality or, you know, things they can't control even sometimes, why are you together? It seems very toxic and you guys should not be together, but sometimes it works. So maybe these two are just assholes. They're two assholes meant for each other. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's just what it is. I don't know. Anytime that I'm in a relationship, I'm not joking about letting someone go and have a hall pass with somebody else unless I'm feeling a little guilty about stuff I've done.
She can't be prettier than you.
Yeah, she just can't be prettier than you.
Yeah. I mean, that's not gonna. Yeah, unless you go.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be an old Chinese lady.
My justification for the hand, it's emotionless and it's
it's just like a little thing after a massage. Sure, okay.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm on board.
Yeah.
High five.
I also like the fact that it's just.
What? Here's on podcast host, liar. So he wants to get a happy ending. He wants to go to a massage parlor and get a happy ending. And she's like, I'm cool with it because in his words, it's not it's emotionless and doesn't mean anything. There's some weird boundaries in this relationship. And it seems like what means something and what doesn't changes on the fly. And honestly, they gave her like the power chair as well. They're sitting on like the cut couch. Like, you see how this, I don't know. But it just seems like whatever, they're still feeling out the process of what works. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, no, it's good, right? Like, as long as she's not prettier than you. And she's like, yeah, y'all been married for a while now. Why are they even doing, again, open relationship, whatever, but like, this is odd. I don't know, this is odd. This does, I mean, to me, it screams insecurity everywhere. From him, from her, everything. And then the podcast guys are just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
It's less work for you.
Yeah.
And I know your day is full of work.
So, you know, it's funny because she doesn't do anything. That's why it's funny. It's funny because he makes all the money and she sits at home and complains about everything. All right, and so the last one here, and we'll get out, it's her addressing how she deals with kissing Akash in front of people. Now, again, there are some couples that don't participate in PDA, public displays of affection, and that's completely fine. But when a couple is split down the middle of how they interpret kisses in public, that usually is a bit of a red flag. If a husband wants to kiss a wife in public and she turns away from him to meet the cheek action, or vice versa, then that usually means that people aren't on the same page when it comes to, you know, the way they feel about each other, the way they express it, especially in moments like, I don't know, a proposal, where the customary thing is for the husband to get down on one knee, propose, bang, ring, kiss, not propose, bang, ring, wow, look, how much did it cost? Kiss here because we're not there yet. And did everybody see how much the ring cost, right? That's usually not how it all goes, but let's hear her explain.
Always duck his kisses when there are not people around?
No, not when there aren't people around, just when there are people around. And I never even knew.
That's worse.
That is way worse, by the way. I mean, anytime you're ducking kisses, if you aren't showing affection to your relationship mate, then it's probably an issue. But yeah, when there are people around and you don't want to show that affection, ugh.
I didn't
Explain yourself.
I didn't know that I
Tell
did
us
that.
why.
I didn't know that I did that, so I really sat and thought about it. So I think it's a few things. I think it's like
You really sat and thought about it.
because I was like, okay, maybe it's like the
Doing it unconsciously is even crazier. Like, to not even have the conscious thought that you're doing it, your body's just natural reaction to your husband kissing you in front of people is to, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it looks like to be embarrassed or to be not okay with it. That is a little bit worse than even the act of thinking about it then doing it. The unconscious act of, I don't want that. Just a natural feeling, yikes.
repressed Indian girl thing where it's like I get a little bashful. I do get a little shy, despite what the internet thinks.
Most Indians do. I'm the exception.
Yeah, I think I also get over.
We have to stop blaming being Indian on everything that she's done or said wrong. I'm sorry. You don't get to just play the I'm Indian card every time people criticize you for the things you've said and done. What is that? You don't get to just, it's not like a get out of jail free card. Hey, I was popping my pussy in college, but it's okay because I actually wasn't. I'm Indian. Hey, Wasn't actually gold digging my husband. I was actually the breadwinner until he was really, really broke, then left him, then came back when he was making money, but don't worry, it's because I'm Indian. Like, you can't just, it's not an excuse for all this, dude.
Stimulated because Akash does it a lot, like every 30 seconds. Like a little bit.
I get it now, just sleep. I get it.
That's why I grabbed your chin so you couldn't.
I didn't move my face though. I wasn't
Andrew was ready for that shit.
So it is a little bit overstimulating for you.
Yeah, it like regulates him, but it kind of overstimulates me. And like the videos people have seen are like the proposal videos, they're like already overstimulating.
Okay, so here's the thing that
That's crazy though. Again, not everybody's love language, I guess, is the same. And I don't even want to be talking like one of these fucking life relationship coaches and love languages and thoughts and words of affirmation. But she said it's overstimulating for her husband to kiss her as much as he does. It's clear that Akash probably does it for reassurance, which usually is like to be honest, a female, like feminine trait, reassurance that their partner loves them. I know my girlfriend does that. It's not the biggest thing in the world to me. I think it's actually really cute that she wants to be reassured how I feel about her. That's fine. I enjoy that. But I guess I can understand where it gets to be too much if you're doing it all the time. Like, give me a kiss, give me a kiss, give me. That's crazy. But then again, overstimulated because your husband wants to give you a little pop kiss in pubs? That's wild. Affection is overstimulating.
I think is like very I think the relatable thing is not wanting to make out with your partner in front of your entire family.
Yes.
But most people
I think you mean hook up, Andrew. Hook up.
just do it because they're like, oh, I don't want my partner to feel embarrassed in this moment, even though they're like, ugh. And you're just like, you just feel the ugh. But I do think it is, I do think it's relatable though to have that sensation of like, I don't want to be intimate around my like brother, sisters, or mom, dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that is, I think that's relatable to people.
Yeah.
But
I guess, but it's not like they're making out. Again, you're being a bit hyperbolic. If you're Schultz, you're talking about making out with your partner in front of your family. It's a pop kiss. It's like especially for the proposal stuff. It's just a mwah, like, thank you for giving me this ring. Thank you for being my husband. It is showing affection. It's not like they're ripping each other's clothes off and getting down to business like she was doing in college before she met a guy. It's not like that. I don't, again, maybe I'm just different, but I don't see that as a problem. I think that my family would be more appreciative of the fact that their son found someone that he loved if I showed the person that I am with that I loved them with a kiss, with something like that from time to time, to be like, man, he really did find the one, you know, whatever. Not to say that you do that for your family, but just like in general, the overthinking of this is odd. And the fact that she's overthinking it and the fact that the flagrant guys are like, no, that's valid to it's a kiss. He's your husband. He's trying to show affection. How is that a problem?
most people just do it and then do a quick one. Like my wife will just give me like a quick smooch and then go back to doing it.
We never saw our parents kissing ever, so it's like so foreign to us.
This is an interesting thing that a lot of the internet might not understand. But it's like your family, your parents were not like romantically in love at all. And would you say yours?
You could cut romantically.
Will you kiss Akash right now?
I don't even know if I want to see it.
On the lips.
Okay,
prove everybody wrong.
But it's gonna mess my leg.
Bring that ass over here.
Yeah. She still don't want to do it.
Ass over here.
All right, Akash, I'll give you that one. That's good. That's good.
Oh, he got it! How's it feel?
All right. Fair play. That was good. I like that. Talk your shit, Akash. Get her back.
Oh, shit.
Look at him. He's dapping everybody up. He's talking shit like, fuck you, how's it feel? Oh, my Lord. All right. Well, listen. For the most part, this entire podcast feels like a softening of like what's been going on, and did it probably take a little bit of a crazy spiral, this whole thing, and maybe, you know, as the internet does, the lowest of the low coming in and saying some really vile shit. But for the most part, this didn't clear up much for me. Like, they are clearly in a relationship, and I do think there's probably some love there, but I still think that a lot of it is built on the fact that their relationship is very much a financial one. And what Akash can do financially, now especially, I don't know if it's forgetting about the value of money or the value of love and affection and all these things, but her way of looking at him and what he means to her and what he does for her and all this stuff, It doesn't really change my mind, I'll be honest, because it feels like a lot of these answers have been PR pieces revved up to explain her words that were very clear from the first point. Didn't really leave a lot of wiggle room. So even some of these answers are more unclear than the statement she made to begin with. So I don't know, but you in the comment section, you can tell me what you believe. Either she was lying about things that she did or embellishing or exaggerating her life before meeting Akash and some of her life during the time they knew each other, or she was telling the truth. And she maybe told too much of the truth. And Akash didn't like to hear some of that. And Akash got his eyes open because the internet is not in love with his wife to the degree he is. Remember, never had sex, probably never had a girlfriend before. And now he got to see an unbiased look at their relationship from the outside looking in. And so we had to come and do some PR. And maybe there's some real conversations still going on. I don't know. You guys let me know. But what happens with this happy couple? Don't have those answers. So guess we'll find out. Peace.